Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy here as promised with the 4 top 10 lists to close off the month of January. And what are these top 10 lists, you may ask? Well, they are my revised edition of my top 10 favorite and hated female and male anime characters. Since the last time I did this list back in 2013, I have seen a lot of new animes and been introduced to a lot of new characters, some of which I grew fond of, while others I grew to despise intensely. But honestly, real talk, the major reason as to why I'm redoing these lists is because I'm very ashamed and embarrassed by those previous top 10 best and worst female and male anime characters lists. Not because of the characters that were included on those lists, as many of those characters were appropriate choices for those lists and will be appearing yet again in these revised lists, but because of my reasonings as to why I chose a character to be on the list. A lot of you even pointed out in the comments saying, well, that doesn't necessarily make them the worst character, it just makes them a character that you really hate. And you guys made a lot of good points. They're not characters that are inherently the worst. I mean, it's not like the execution of those characters were bad. I just personally didn't like them for one reason or another. Or maybe I just really enjoyed the character for one reason or another. Point is, I acknowledge how incredibly flawed, weak, and amateur those previous top 10 lists were, and I completely disown them. They no longer represent my thoughts and opinions on certain characters in anime. Now the revised editions will represent me properly. And to start off my revised editions, today I'm going to be counting down my top 10 most hated female anime characters. These were the female characters that I have seen in anime that have just pissed me off and aggravated me to no end. And of course it goes without saying, even though I'm clearly stating it, that these are just my opinions of female characters that I just couldn't stand. And keep in mind, I did change it to most hated instead of the worst. These characters are not inherently the worst. Some of them actually are made to be hated, and that's the purpose of their characters. It's just I couldn't stand them because I found them despicable. But at the same time, that was the point. So that doesn't make them the worst characters, but it does make them characters that I couldn't stand. And we can't start this top 10 list without bringing up the ladies who just barely missed the list. The dishonorable mentions, and they are as follows: Lane from Serial Experiments Lane, Misa from Death Note, Yamata from B Gata HK, Orihime from Bleach, Megumi Shimizu from Shiki, and Sarah Dimas from School Rumble. Oh, and by the way, Eri Sawichika is also not on this list. I just don't hate the character like I used to in the past. Now on to the list. Starting off the list at number 10 is Mae and Dawn from the Pokemon series. Though not entirely bad characters, these two make the list by how bland and forgettable they are, especially when compared to Misty, the girl that both of them replaced. But to be honest, Misty is a really hard character to follow up, as she raised the bar really high, as she had drive, she had personality, she had a really convincing friendship with Ash and Brock. Mae and Dawn just don't have any of those. They just feel like caricatures of what a fun female character should be. They lack any unique qualities besides being the bright-eyed, cute eye candy for the male characters in the audience. That's all they serve. But just because you make them bubbly and cute does not make them interesting. Coming in at number 9 is Meadery from Green. All the characters in that godforsaken anime are horrendous, but when it comes down to the female characters, none was more generic and irritating than Meadery. And honestly, that's all I have to say about the character. Nothing else really stands out about her. I can't even think of a single good thing about this character. Not one. Coming in at number 8 is Yui Kimori from Diabolic Lovers. Pushover doesn't even begin to describe this bitch. She makes herself out to be this defenseless victim. Oh, woe is me. Not only am I being held against my will, but I'm being forced to partake in these sexual acts with these rapist vampires. Oh, the humanity. But here's the thing, she allows them to do these things. Throughout the entire anime, she never once stands up for herself, fight off their sexual advances, even when presented with something to wear off her dissenters, you know, something that can kill a vampire. What does she do? Nothing! She does nothing! By that alone, it shows me that Yui as a character has no backbone. She's just as much condoning their despicable behavior by not taking action. I really wanted to sympathize with this girl, but the more I saw her, the more my sympathy waned. Coming in at number 7 is actually a group of girls, the Skanks from Aiken. Now I know many of you are shocked to see these girls so low on this list, considering my complete disdain for every single one of these bitches and this anime in its entirety. But trust me, there are 7 more girls that will be featured on this list that have done more to anger me than these unattractive, disgusting, big-titted piece of shit Skanks. In fact, I would not be surprised if their tits were actually filled with shit. Would explain why they're so unappealing. Besides their distracting tits, which by the way is the only standout thing about any of these bitches, there's not much more to say about these Skanks. I mean, really, what else is there to say about any of them? They're also paper thin. No, scratch that. They're worse than that. They're plastic thin. That's how fake all of these characters are. They make paper thin characters look way more developed and way more interesting. Not to mention that their only sole purpose for existing was to be fucking fan service, and they even fuck up that. Fail. Fail. Number 6 is Kirino Kosaka from Ore no Imoto. Yeah, she's a complete and total bitch. Self-centered, manipulative, and unsympathetic in every way possible, not only because of her disgusting love for her brother, but because of how she treats her friends like complete shit. All of my hatred for this character can be summed up in just one scene from the first season. After that, there was no going back for Kirino. There was no redemption for Kirino. She was a bitch, and I hated her from then on. And that scene is where Kirino is out and about with her otaku friends. They're having a fun time, and then one of Kirino's model friends, who just happens to be in the same area, sees Kirino with her otaku friends, which puts Kirino in a bit of a tight pinch, as her model friends do not know that she's an otaku at this point in the anime. So what does Kirino do at this point? Does she come clean and tell her model friends that she's an otaku, and if you're my true friend, you'll accept me for who I am, and stand by her otaku friends at this situation as a true friend would? Of course not. That'd be so ridiculous. Instead, what she does is completely dismiss her otaku friends, abandon them, then proceed to talk shit about them right in their fucking faces. She didn't even have the decency to like walk away or to go to another place and then start talking shit about them. No. This girl actually had the balls to talk shit about her new otaku friends in plain fucking sight. And to add insult to injury, throughout the entire series, this scene, this moment is never brought up again, and Kirino never apologizes or even feels remorse for her actions on that date. And this is supposed to be the character that we're rooting for and find charming and likable? Yeah, I don't think so. Mosquitoes have more charm than this bitch. As I said in my review, Kirino is a cute character. I'm not going to deny that. But does that mean that she's a likable character? Fuck no! Number 5 is Risa Kamizaki from Amagami SS. Stalker with the heart of gold? Hell no! What are you, crazy? They tried their damnedest to make her out to be this misunderstood character whose heart was in the right place, but I'm sorry. The shit that she does in this anime is straight up unforgivable. She is the sole reason as to why Junichi never met that girl 2 years ago, why he closed his heart to other girls and constantly pushes other girls away from him. Dude, fuck this bitch. I don't care how cute or gorgeous she is or how desperate I may be, I'd never trust that bitch or even humor the thought of dating her. I don't know what the hell Junichi was smoking to make him forgive her for all of her past transgressions, but whatever it is, I want none of it. Keep that shit away from me. All I have left to say is, Bitches be cray cray. Coming in at number 4, we got Himeko Katagiri from Pani Pony Dash. Maho! 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 Shut the fuck up already, Jesus Christ! She is without question the most annoying female character ever put in an anime. She infuriated me by her presence alone, and she made every situation in the anime from bad to worse. If the character was at the very least funny annoying or had some charm to her, like Shinobu from Ninja Nonsense or Mako from Kill la Kill, then I may have been able to tolerate and maybe even like the character just a bit more. But they purposely went out of their way to make the character as extremely annoying in the most unfunny way possible, and they just pulled it off in flying colors. And that's all I gotta say about Himeko, because I don't want to think about this character anymore. Every time I think about this character, I keep thinking about how she constantly says Maho, Maho, Maho throughout the entire anime, and just really, it's like nails on a chalkboard scratching in my brain. I just want to end the pain, end the pain. Number 3 is Siru from Akame ga Kill. As I said in my review, which you all love to bring up to me, this character is sadistic as fuck. The shit she does in this anime is downright deplorable. And no matter how many times they try to develop this character to make her relatable and sympathetic, I'm sorry, it just never worked. I still hated her fucking guts. I think my hatred for her was sealed the moment she brutally killed Shelly, who at that very moment in the anime was my favorite character. Unforgivable. Even at death's door, she remained despicable to the very end, trying to take as many souls down with her. Even her death wasn't all that satisfying. I mean, yes, her limbs do get ripped off, but all she really does is just explode in a blaze of glory. I mean, I wanted this girl not only to be ripped limb from limb, but like to be hung up or to be ridiculed through the streets and some type of major suffering. She didn't even suffer at the very end. She kind of just embraced her death, and I'm like, no, 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 no. You do not get to just embrace your fate. No, you need to suffer just a bit more. I never ever wanted a character to suffer more than this bitch from Akame ga Kill. That's how much I hated her, guys. Coming in at number 2, coincidentally, is a duo. You could almost say that they're my favorite sister duo, and that is Tweedle Want the D and Tweedle Wanna Come from Kiss X Sis or Kiss 6 or however the fuck you want to say it. If ever there were a female equivalent to those 3 fuckers from Green Green, Tweedle Want the D and Tweedle Wanna Come would definitely take the cake. Lewd and disgusting at every goddamn turn, these 2 siblings and their lust for Onichan make me wanna... Okay, I'm good. Let's continue. Throughout this entire series, these 2 never do one likable thing. They never do anything that doesn't in some way tie back to Captain Fuckface. And that scene where they take their pubes and then they put it in like the good luck charm and then they hand it to Captain Fuck... Oh God, no. Oh God. Oh, I don't feel so good. And here we are, guys, the number 1 spot. And I'm pretty damn sure you all know who's taking the cake at number 1. This character is without question the biggest bitch not only on this list, but probably in all of anime. Reprehensible and downright deplorable to the upteenth degree. And who is that character, you may ask? Well, that character is none other than Eri Sawichka from School Rumble. Yeah, you thought she wasn't gonna be on this list? Huh, I got you. Yeah, I hate this fucking bitch. She needs to fucking die. Nah, I'm just pulling your leg, guys. I mean, Eri is a bitch. No doubt about that. But there's no fucking way that Eri could be a bigger bitch than Sekai from School Days. What pains me so much about Sekai and why I hate her fucking guts is because of how she broke my heart. because there was actually a time in the anime where I legitimately liked her character and was torn between her and Kotonoha to see who Makoto should choose. And I was kind of veering towards Sekai. I liked her personality, I liked her chemistry with Makoto, and I actually wanted to see them end up together. But as the anime continued, the more and more I saw her for the cunt that she is. A two-faced skank who pretends to hate the fact that Makoto is cheating on Kotonoha, but still allows him to do the terrible thing. I bet you her and Yue went to the same school of submissiveness to deplorable behaviors. A+ students, these two, mom would be proud. But wait, here's the kicker. She then has the audacity to act totally surprised and angry at the fact that Makoto starts cheating on her. Yeah, because you totally couldn't see that one coming. Overall, fuck Sekai. She's a terrible person, an even worse friend, and she totally got what was coming to her in the end. And that is why Sekai is my #1 most hated female anime character. And that was my top 10 most hated female anime characters list. And I would absolutely love to know your thoughts about this revised list. Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? Did you feel like I left any other female anime characters out? And did you feel like the points this time around were much more clearer, concise, and solid? And let me know who is your most hated female anime character. Comment below, let me know. And this ends the first of 4 top 10 lists coming your way. Stay tuned tomorrow for the complete 180 of this list, which will be my top 10 favorite female anime characters list, followed by my top 10 hated male anime characters list, and my top 10 favorite closing out the month. So until then, guys, if you'd like to see more videos on this channel and be a part of the Black Critic crew, please hit that subscribe button below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm 21 the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.